Have you ever tiptoed around a conversation, just hoping it won't turn awkward? Today, we're diving into exactly that, dealing with delicate chats with your neighbours.
I can relate. Last week, I actually had to talk to my neighbor about some late-night noise, and honestly, I was worried it might get tense.
Hey everyone, I'm Amy, and I'm here with Justin. We're exploring how to tackle small issues like noisy neighbours using polite and respectful English.
So if you've ever wondered how to bring up a problem without sounding rude or starting a fight, you're in the right place.
We'll show you friendly phrases, walk through a real example, talk about why tone matters, and even practice some lines together. Let's get started.
You know, even when the issue is small, I always feel a bit anxious before talking to a neighbor. Why does it make people so nervous?
It's totally normal. We don't want to upset the people we live near, and there's that worry the conversation could make things awkward long term.
Exactly. I keep thinking, what if they take it the wrong way and things get weird?
That's where soft language and a friendly approach can really help. It's not just what we say, but how we say it that makes the difference.
So, when I knock on their door or see them in the hallway, how do I start without sounding negative right away?
Great question. The opening line is super important. Try starting with something gentle, like, "Hey, do you have a minute? I just wanted to mention something small."
That definitely feels softer than jumping in with the problem straight off. It almost gives them a heads up.
Exactly, it signals you're being thoughtful, not confrontational, which helps set a positive tone for the whole conversation.
I always worry about the words I use. Like, is it better to say, "You're being too loud"? Or should I say something else?
It's much better to soften it. Try, "I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, but sometimes the noise at night makes it hard for me to sleep."
That sounds way less accusing. I like that it doesn't blame them directly.
That's the idea. We're focusing on the problem, not the person. So it feels like a team effort to fix it.
So saying, "I have trouble sleeping" instead of, "You make too much noise," that's what you mean by focusing on yourself, right?
Exactly. I statements show how something affects you rather than making the other person feel attacked.
It makes it easier for the neighbor to hear the message without feeling blamed.
Yes, and it opens the door for a more understanding and productive conversation.
Honestly, I get so caught up in my words. I sometimes forget how much tone and body language matter too.
That's such a good point. Even if you say the right words, if you sound annoyed or stand with your arms crossed, it sends the wrong signal.
A smile and relaxed voice make it clear you're not looking for a fight, but just want to solve a problem.
Absolutely. People pick up on your attitude, and a friendly vibe can really ease the tension.
Could you share a few more useful phrases for starting these tricky chats? I'd love to practice some.
Sure. You might say, "Would you mind if I mention something?" Or, "I hope this isn't a bother, but..."
So if I say, "Would you mind keeping things a bit quieter at night?" That's polite enough?
That's perfect. It's gentle. It leaves room for the other person to respond, and it's clear what you're asking.
What if the neighbor immediately gets defensive, like, "I'm not that loud"? That's my biggest fear.
That does happen sometimes, but you can stay calm and say, "I understand it might not always seem loud to you. I just wanted you to know it's been a little tough for me."
That way, you're acknowledging their feelings, but also standing by your own experience.
Exactly. Staying calm and respectful keeps the conversation from turning into an argument.
There's also the question of where to have this talk. Is it better to mention it in passing or to ask for a quick chat?
It really depends. If you catch your neighbor in the hallway and it feels right, a gentle mention is fine. But if it's a bigger issue, asking for a quick conversation might be better.
I guess it helps to read the situation if they're busy maybe wait for a better moment.
That's right. Timing and environment can make a big difference when you want the chat to go smoothly.
Once I've brought it up, how do I end things so it doesn't feel weird afterwards?
You can thank them for listening or say, I really appreciate you understanding. Ending with a positive note shows goodwill.
That sounds like a nice way to wrap up, even if the topic was a little uncomfortable.
Exactly, ending kindly helps keep your neighbor relationship on good terms.
Are there any big language mistakes people make that can ruin these conversations?
Definitely. It's best to avoid words like always or never, and don't accuse or raise your voice. These things can make someone feel attacked.
So staying away from blame and exaggeration really matters.
Absolutely. Keep it specific and gentle to avoid drama.
It's funny sometimes. A good chat about a problem actually makes you get along better with your neighbor.
That's true. When handled well, these talks build respect and show you care about peaceful living.
I feel much more confident now about keeping things friendly, even when I need to mention a problem.
That's what it's all about, using English not just for grammar, but for real, positive communication. Before we wrap up, thanks to everyone listening today. We love hearing from you, so let us know about your own delicate conversations.
It really helps to share these real-life situations. The more we practice, the easier it gets to communicate respectfully.
Absolutely so. If this episode was helpful, subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave us a comment. Let's sum up today's episode. First, we learned that starting with gentle phrases calms the situation. Second, using I statements makes your message less confrontational. And third, ending with kindness keeps neighbor relationships healthy. Honestly, whenever I need to mention something uncomfortable to a neighbor, my first thought is, am I going to make this weird?
That's such a common worry. We want to solve the issue, but not damage the relationship. The trick is finding language that's gentle, but clear.
Exactly. And sometimes just knowing a few softer phrases can help you approach the situation with more confidence.
Absolutely. Softening your words makes people more open to hearing your concern, and it takes the sting out of difficult topics.
Let's try a quick practice. Say, my neighbor's dog barks late at night. I want to explain the problem, but I don't want to sound rude.
A good way to start might be, "Hi, I hope this isn't too much trouble, but I've noticed your dog has been barking quite late."
Adding, I understand dogs do make noise, but it's made it hard for me to sleep. Shows I'm not blaming, just sharing my experience.
Right. You're focusing on the situation without making it personal. That's key for keeping things friendly.
I've noticed softening phrases like, I just wanted to check with you, can make a difference. Why do those help so much?
They show respect and make your message less direct. For example, I hope that's okay, or I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Both help lower the pressure.
That makes sense. These phrases let the other person know you're not attacking them, you're inviting their cooperation.
Exactly. It's all about opening space for a conversation, not a conflict.
Amy, you mentioned it's helpful to acknowledge the other person's side. Can you give an example?
Sure. You might say, I understand that sometimes it's unavoidable, or I know you're busy and things happen. It shows empathy and makes your concern feel less like a complaint.
I love that. It feels less like pointing fingers and more like working together to solve a problem.
That's the spirit. When people feel understood, they're much more likely to respond kindly.
Let's say the neighbor disagrees or maybe can't fix the problem right away. How can we keep things polite?
You can try phrases like, I see where you're coming from, or maybe we can find a compromise that works for both of us.
I like how those don't shut down the conversation. They keep it open for solutions.
Exactly. You're acknowledging their view and inviting teamwork, even if there's no perfect fix yet.
Now, let's flip roles. What if a neighbor comes to me with a concern? How should I respond?
Start with something simple like, "Thanks for letting me know," or "I'll try to be more careful about that." That shows you're listening and willing to help.
Even if you feel a little defensive, those responses keep things positive and prevent arguments.
Exactly, and if you need time, you can add, "I'll look into it and see what I can do." That's honest and still polite.
Let's try a mini role play. I'll be the neighbor with the concern.
Perfect. I'll do my best to respond respectfully. Go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to check with you. I've noticed your recycling sometimes ends up in our driveway. I hope that's okay to mention.
Thanks for letting me know. I didn't realize. I'll make sure to keep it on my side next time.
I really appreciate that. I understand it's easy for things to get mixed up. That exchange felt pretty friendly. Do you think tone and body language matter as much as words?
They matter a lot, even with the right words. If you sound frustrated or avoid eye contact, the message can come across as cold.
So a relaxed voice and a little smile really help things go smoothly?
Absolutely. Friendly gestures and calm tone can soften almost any message.
Justin here. I've definitely messed this up before. What mistakes should people watch out for in these talks?
Jumping straight to accusations is a big one, or using "you always" that sounds harsh. Also, ignoring their feelings makes things tense.
I've learned that taking a breath and thinking about the other person's perspective really helps.
Exactly. Pause before you speak and focus on finding a solution, not just pointing out a problem.
Let's list a few phrases that help people cooperate. What's your go-to, Amy?
I often use, "Maybe we can figure something out together," or "Let me know what works for you." These invite the other person to help solve the issue.
That feels so much more positive than just saying, "Don't do this."
Exactly, the whole point is to keep the conversation relaxed and solution-focused.
For listeners trying this at home, what's a simple way to practice these polite phrases?
You could role play with a friend, take turns being the neighbor, and come up with different problems to solve.
Or even just saying the phrases out loud helps you get comfortable using them.
Absolutely. The more you practice, the easier it gets to handle these situations in real life.
Quick reminder, if you're enjoying these tips, don't forget to subscribe to Ace English Podcast and like this episode.
And if you have your own stories about tricky neighbor conversations, please share them in the comments. We love learning how you handle these moments politely.
Every share and comment helps us reach more English learners.
Plus, you might inspire someone else to solve their next neighbor issue with kindness.
All right, Amy, let's hit the highlights. What are 3 key takeaways from today's episode?
First, use softening language to keep things friendly phrases like "I hope that's okay" or "I just wanted to check." Second, acknowledge the other person's situation to show empathy. Third, invite cooperation instead of making demands.
Those are golden. And for everyone listening, try practicing one new polite phrase the next time you have a difficult conversation.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep practicing calm and respectful communication. It'll make every conversation a little easier. Subscribing to Ace English Podcast, liking the episode, sharing it with other English learners.
See you next time on Ace English Podcast. Bye-bye.